Floyd Schofield versus Rene Giron, 12 rounds in the 135-pound division this Saturday. I believe this is both men's first 12-round fight. Let's get into it. Let's start with their respective records. Floyd Schofield, 17 wins, no losses, 12 wins by way of knockout. Giron, 20 wins, 3 losses, but 13 wins by way of knockout. So I feel like Schofield has a lot of momentum moving his way, right? He's one of the top 135 pounders, up and coming pounders in the division. I mean, when I think about it, I think of him. You know, Keyshawn is still young. Abdullah Mason, very young. But those are some of the top prospects that kind of come to mind in the 135-pound division. I would love to hear your thoughts on who some of those top other ones are. Let me know in the comment section below. One thing about Floyd Schofield, man, is he's always going to go for the knockout. Every Schofield fight that I've seen, he's trying to put on a show. He's trying to showcase his skills, his talent, speed, power in all of his fights. I remember when he fought Rodrigo Guerrero a few years back. That was kind of the time when he was supposed to get a little more resistance because he was knocking everybody out leading up to that point, especially within the first 3-4 rounds. He ended up getting the stoppage against Guerrero, but you could see, man, he overwhelmed him with punches most of that fight. But there were times in that fight where he almost got himself in trouble because he left himself open. Sometimes Floyd Schofield, man, he puts himself in trouble when he overcommits and he'll lunge forward or he'll leap and try to punch out of a shot, kind of like how Shawn Porter used to do it. Now, Floyd Schofield is very athletic and he's explosive and dynamic enough to get out of harm's way. But if someone is anticipating what Schofield is going to do and they can find his timing, there's a good chance that they might be able to counter him and put him in trouble. But to this point, he hasn't really been in too much danger. There's no doubt about it. Like, this young man, he can fight. Like, he's coming to try to overwhelm you and use his strength and his size and his power to his advantage. But sometimes he does fight a little emotional and takes uncalculated risk. And if you aren't calculated with what you're doing in the professional setting of boxing, at some point it's going to make you pay. When he fought Alberto Mercado, you know, he did some of the stuff, like, you could really see that comparison with Shawn Porter, as I mentioned. He's explosive enough to kind of do some of those same similar movements and get himself out of trouble. But if you can find the timing, you can get him hurt. Like, he will be in trouble. Just like how Bud Crawford kind of figured out what Shawn Porter was going to do, step back while he was lunging and counter him. Some of those same similar features, if somebody else could do that, you could do that to Floyd Schofield. I saw some good things when he fought Alberto Mercado, right? Now, a lot of people give Schofield slack because of that fight, because Mercado, you know, he was a little bit older. He was coming off of a longer layoff. And though he did not get the knockout, man, that was a fight where, yeah, he got hit a little too much that fight, but that was a fight where he was in complete control. Like, I didn't think I ever saw him hurt in that fight. He was throwing some punishing shots. He overwhelmed Mercado, right? So he's one of those guys where if the opportunity is there to get the stoppage, he's going to take it without thinking too much of it. And it can work for him, but it can also work against him if it is not controlled and under wraps. Always want to be in control of whatever it is that you're doing. Now, a lot of people feel differently about Floyd Schofield, but I like the young man, man. I think there's a lot of potential and he does a lot of good things in his development. He will get better and he will become a more complete fighter. Now, Giron, his opponent this weekend, is a very solid fighter, man. This guy is not brought down to lay down or make this an easy win for Floyd Schofield. I don't think it's going to be that type of fight. I think Giron's going to pose a threat in this fight. Giron has 3 losses on his resume. He lost to Michel Rivera, he lost to Giovanni Cabrera, and he lost to Jose Matias Romero. He fought Romero in a close fight. And Romero is also another tough opponent who also fought Michel Rivera and lost, but he also fought Pitbull Cruz, and he also fought Robeisy Ramirez. So Giron is battle-tested, man. He's also the guy that beat undefeated up-and-coming prospect Carlos Balderas and gave him his first loss. And now Balderas' career is kind of in a bit of a fluctuation, right? He's got another loss. So Giron has posed upsets before, and this is a great opportunity for him to do that again. So this isn't a guy that you should want to take lightly. I remember when Giron fought Eddie Garza, man, and that body shot that he landed on Garza to close out the show was extremely well placed, extremely well timed, but extremely well executed. Garza was never going to get up from that body shot once Giron landed that body shot, man. It was a perfect shot. There was no way he was going to get up from that. Giron's put down a couple guys already in his career with those body shots, right? So Schofield can't just be coming in recklessly, because Giron's going to place that shot right on the liver. And we'll see if Floyd Schofield can take too many of those before he has to retreat, or if he goes down for the first time in his career. Giron's fight against Jose Matias Romero, man, I think it was very interesting. And I felt like if things was on a different venue, I think he would have got the win in that fight, because I felt like he outworked Romero and pushed the pace most of that night. But, you know, hometown crowd, hometown feeling, sometimes it goes for them and it goes against you. In his most recent fight, Giron's most recent fight, he's fought Alex De La Magani, and it was a straight dominant performance, man. Both guys were not hard to find. That's what Giron wants. He's a shorter guy, so he's going to have to close the gap and break the distance in order to be physical, in order to land those shots. And he was able to do that against De La Magani, man. So Giron has really good pressure, man, really good pace, really good aggression. He's not the most explosive guy, not the most dynamic guy, but he is a little heavy-handed, and he is a tough and durable guy. He's never been stopped before, and he knows how to break down his opponents. He's a little bit wild in his shots at times, but he does some really good things when he is in close, man. But this is a guy who's got a good chin, man, and this is not a guy that you want to fight fire with, because he likes that type of fight. That's his style. Heavy pressure, be in front of your face, let the hands go. You do not want to get sucked into fighting Giron's fight, because that's when he is going to be successful and has been successful in previous times before. Now, Floyd Schofield, in his last fight, he fought Esteury Serrero. It was an interesting fight, man. Serrero, he got too emotional and just started to kind of take himself out of the fight, because Schofield was dropping bombs on him and being extremely physical. And I don't even know if Cyril really wanted any parts of that fight. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of showed. He got himself disqualified in the fight. So this is going to be a very good fight, man. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. So who wins? Before I give my pick on this fight, I have something real quick to share. I'm always looking to bring more light, more value, more opportunities for the community. I've been working on a few different things in recent weeks to not just grow the channel, but as I said, to continue to provide as much value as I can to each of you in our community. With that being said, I got some exciting news to share. I'm happy to announce my partnership with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert. It's a great opportunity for you to join some of the best sports books to get the best odds and new user offer. All you have to do is head over to my dedicated page at signupexpert.com/the breakdown to explore a selection of sports books tailored to your region, each with its own unique offerings. So if you want to place a bet this weekend and on this fight and beyond, check out the link to find the best options for you in your region. Every sign up does support the channel, and it helps the channel grow and to expand and to create more opportunities, not just for me, but for our community. I'm always looking out for you guys as best as I can. You can easily find the link in the description below this videos moving forward. So get down there and check it out and find the best option for you. Now, let's get back to the video. It's going to be interesting to see what the game plan is here for Floyd Schofield. On paper, he's going to be the bigger man. He's going to try to impose his size, his physicality, but I don't think that should particularly be the game plan, man. I'm not saying in moments, yeah, you got to fight back. You got to hold your own to get your opponent's respect. And he's not really an outside fighter like that. But it's going to be interesting to see how well he adjusts. If he is the one that has to be on the back foot, how is he going to fight this fight? You know, he is facing a guy who is physical as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments and the IQ development of Floyd Schofield in this fight. He could come out and just completely dominate this fight. That's a strong possibility. But personally, I don't think it's going to be as easy as he might think that it will be. Schofield, you know, is more explosive than Giron. He's faster than Giron, faster hand speed than Giron, more athletic than Giron. But Giron's going to bring that pressure. And when that pressure is on against a guy who can punch too, how is he going to respond? This is one of those fights where it should favor Schofield because he's not going to have to look too far to find his opponents. Giron is going to be there to get hit, but Schofield is going to be there to get hit as well too. Right? When he is locked in defensively, Schofield can slip and weave and move on some shots, and we can see he can take his defense responsibly. But if he opens himself up too much and tries to gun for the knockouts like we've seen him in previous fights before and going in there uncalculated, this could work against him and it may not end well for him. It might be a tough night for him if he is not calculated and strategic in what he's trying to execute. But I like Schofield by decision, man. I think he's going to have to weather a bit of the storm. But I think his speed and athleticism will be beneficial for him in this fight because he can get out of danger with his feet. And I'm hoping he won't fight too emotional and get stuck in fighting fire with fire against a guy who likes that type of style. But I think it's going to be a good fight. Again, looking forward to seeing how it unfolds, man. Again, I don't think this is going to be an easy fight for Floyd Schofield. I think it's going to be a testing fight, and we'll see how he responds to it. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear from you. How do you think this one goes? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. I don't always get to do all of the suggested videos you guys suggest in the comment section below, but there are two ways that would speed up that process. One, you can become a member or you can send in a donation for a specific fight, and I will do my best to get that done for you that week. You can find my Cash App handle on screen and the descriptions and other options as well. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this time, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.